who's a guest of Representative Barnes in the 11th District. Representative Barnes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members of the body, for joining us today for a sort of different experience than we've had typically as we open up session. I've had the pleasure of knowing Ms. Jenan Atta-Najib for about the past 5 years through my work before the legislature with Micah and the interfaith work that took place. And when I first met her, it was a session that they hosted at the Milwaukee Muslim Women's Coalition. It was called Understanding Islam. And it was a course that was taught to members of many different faiths. Because when you turn on the news, you read the papers, it's very easy to develop opinions about people who practice the Muslim faith. But the fact is, the truth is, it is a religion of peace. I myself, as a Christian, very much appreciate the teachings of the Islamic faith and the friends who I have who practice that faith. And as we look at the state of Wisconsin and as we look at ourselves, it is my hope that we can all become more understanding, more open, and more welcoming of people who don't always think like us, who don't always think as we think. But at the end of the day, we're all people who want better for ourselves, who want better for our children, who want better for our communities. That is what we understand. And President Barack Obama most recently visited a mosque for the first time and throughout his presidency. He went to the Islamic Society of Baltimore. And he talked about how a lot of people don't know any Muslims. Or they may know and just don't know that the person is a Muslim. And with all that is going on in the world, we all should seek to find peace within ourselves, peace within our communities. He also said that this is a religion that is not always, or that is not often thanked enough. Thanks for their contributions to communities, just like any other faith. I know a number of health centers that are run by some Muslim friends of mine. I know a number of community organizations. They serve to anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian, if you're Jewish, even if you don't practice any faith. It is my hope to extend that olive branch to you all by way of my good friend, Ms. Jenan Atta-Najib. So thank you so much for, one, being a friend. Thank you so much, two, for making the trip to Madison. And thank you, number three, for being here in front of the Assembly today. It's truly a special day here in Wisconsin.
In the name of God, the source of all mercy, the dispenser of grace, members of the Wisconsin State Assembly, guests, and especially Representative Mandela Barnes for his vision and his understanding of the great diversity of our country and the strength that lies in that. I greet all of you with the Islamic greeting of peace, Assalamu alaikum. I'm honored to stand before you today as very probably the first Muslim, and most definitely the first Muslim woman to lead the prayer at the beginning of this assembly. I represent the Muslim community of Wisconsin, a community known for their hard work, impressive academic achievement, strong family ties, warm hospitality, beautiful diversity, and unwavering commitment to this great state. As a community, we add our story to the multitude of stories that have made this state and America what it is today. We are a proud community with a tremendous history, and in spite of challenges we are facing, we refuse to allow extremists to define us, and we will never allow xenophobes and Islamophobes to marginalize us. We may be children of different traditions, but we are inheritors of a shared wisdom and brethren of a common humanity. God says in the Holy Quran, And among his beautiful signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your languages and colors. Truly in that are divine signs for those who think. In another verse, God says, O humanity, you have been created from a single pair of a male and a female, and you have been made into nations and tribes so that you may come to know and cherish one another, not despise each other. Surely the best amongst you is the one who is the most righteous. Please join me in prayer. Merciful God, we are meeting here today in this state capital as brothers and sisters. Gracious God, we ask you for knowledge that benefits, a heart that is humble, and deeds that are righteous. Loving God, help us appreciate each other's values and gifts, and help us to uphold the dignity of every human being. Forgiving God, help us overcome our human weaknesses and egos to come together as equals to make a difference in our state and our country. Compassionate God, give us the vision and the courage to see right as right and help us to follow it, and to see wrong as wrong and help us to avoid it. Dear God, please guide the men and women of this assembly to principled leadership, integrity, and common ground. Help them to work together for the good of our state and for the citizens that depend upon them. Dear God, bless this gathering. Open our hearts, enlighten our minds, and unify our souls. Guide us to what is right, and make none of us from those who choose to be dismissed from your mercy and your protection. Dear God, you have full knowledge of all that we do and how our decisions affect the lives of others. Fill our hearts with compassion and make us strong advocates for the voiceless, the homeless, those who struggle to put food on their tables, and those who live in fear. Dear God, make us worthy of the confidence people have in us and the responsibility we have placed upon ourselves. All praise is due to you, the one, the eternal, Lord of the heavens and the earth. God bless this assembly. God bless our great state of Wisconsin, and God bless America. Amen.
The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the gentlelady from the 44th Assembly District. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,